So the reality of estate planning. So really what we're looking at when we talk about estate planning, we're looking at protecting your family wealth. We're looking at managing your tax exposure. Tax is obviously I feel like everyone's number one priority. It's creating a succession strategy. So what happens if, you passed away yesterday? What would happen to your business? What would that look like? We want to look at preserving the business continuity, right? So if you are removed from the picture, can the business survive? Ensuring assets pass according to your wishes and providing clarity during those life transitions, right? So that typically involves, having discussion with family members, even though it might be awkward and some people don't like talking about money. I really can't stress how important it is to, at the very least, have preliminary discussions so that everybody's on the same page. What estate planning is not. So it's not just for retirees. It's not something that you should do when, you're 65 or 70. It really is something that you should be looking at as soon as you start to have a family and you start to have assets. It's not just for wealthy families. Everybody's opinion of wealth is different. And, if you have any form of assets, it should be something that you're reviewing. It's not just a will. If you have a will and that's all you've got, that could cause some issues if there aren't other planning points being addressed. It's not just something you do after a business sale once you've cashed out. Arguably, it's even more important to do before a business sale, because after the business sale, you're pretty liquid. So that's a lot easier to deal with than an entity that you hold after death. And it's not a one-time exercise. So this is something, depending on your life situations, that you should be revisiting. You should be looking at it for any major life events. So if you have grandchildren, if you move, if you sell a business, if you buy a business, if you add, a new asset class, any type of change in your life, you should be revisiting your estate plan. And it's also not purely tax driven. I'm a tax accountant. I love to, minimize or save clients' tax wherever possible. There's good planning, but tax should never be the only driver, and it needs to be a fine balance of what makes sense for the family and how much tax we can, mitigate by doing an overall holistic, solid plan.